I wonder when the next pandemic will happen, and there'll be another one. I mean, there's always another one. Spanish flu rips through a nation. Coronavirus rips through the world. There's always going to be sickness or natural disasters, but in the times of pandemic when things almost shut down, I've been thinking about how the church can be better prepared, how we Christians can be better prepared for the next one. Now, I want to be real clear here. I'm Steve Ridgell, and let me tell you how right I am about everything. Maybe not at all. Sometimes I think I don't have a clue, but I do think about a lot of things, and I've been thinking about things that I wish we had done better during this last pandemic. And I want to be clear here. When I talk about these things, I'm not saying these things to criticize anybody. I think most people did the best they could, but I want us Christians to be better prepared for the next time. And so here's three things I've been thinking a lot about lately. One is we've got to do a better job about meeting together. Well, we didn't do so good during the pandemic. I'm not talking about going and keeping your church meeting at 50 people or 80 people or 2,000 people and being some kind of super spreader. But I do wish we had put more thought into how to get groups of 6 or 8 or 10 or 12. And I know a lot of you did that. A lot of you did have home meetings, and it should be a thing we could have done better at. If you've got a congregation of 120, figure out somewhere to set up 10 or 15 or 20 home gatherings for people. We've got the technology for the preacher's sermon to be shot into every home. Or if you don't, maybe in some places preachers have to go to 4 church meetings in homes and stand 20 foot away and speak through a mask and do one at 9 and one at 11 and one at 3 and one at 5. I don't know. That'd be hard on preachers, but extraordinary times call for extraordinary work and courage and methods. I just feel like God had a reason to encourage us to meet together and take communion together, to inspire each other, to equip each other for love and good works. And we didn't do well. We've got to do better with that, whether that's a bunch of small meetings. But I do know that meeting online is not the same as meeting in person. And so I hope next time we'll think through that better. And I know it's going to take some courage, and I know everybody's going to worry about it, but we've got to do, but God surely knew what he said, knew what he meant when he said we need to meet together. Number 2, I want to really encourage the spiritual leaders to be more courageous and step out in some faith during the next pandemic, the next crisis. Now, out of my background, and I'm partial where I think Scripture teaches about elders leading the church, but maybe preachers want to think this through, spiritual leaders, but we've got to be more proactive. Well, and I know a lot of you called your members, but I'm going to tell you, we should have taken some time to, after work or at night, go make 4 house calls. Now, you can't go into houses during a pandemic. Well, maybe you could if we had masked up, or maybe you can stand in the yard. Even when it's really cold outside, you can stand in the yard and speak to people inside the house. There's things we could have done. We should have prayed more and visited more and encouraged more. And I really want to tell you, we elders should have known the marriages that were going to have a hard time surviving a shutdown. We should have known the members, and probably did know the members, whose jobs were in danger, who economically this was going to devastate. We should know in our flock who the alcoholics are, the people that struggle with pornography, the people that struggle with physical abuse in their families. And we should have been proactive to speak into those lives. Maybe we could have done more Zoom meetings or more videos about that kind of thing, or maybe we should have shown up in a lot of yards. And we elders could have done a better job. Elders could have, preachers could have, spiritual leaders could have. We spiritual leaders could have done better about still visiting the hospital, but they wouldn't let you in. Yes, we should have been more creative about how to meet people in the parking lot and speak from a distance and still pray over them and care for them. And I know a lot of you did things like this, and I commend you, but we've got to think through that. Yes, but you know how dangerous it is for preachers and elders to be running all over and their wives and spiritual leaders going all over trying to talk. I know that. But maybe God called us to be courageous. We are the leaders. And the third thing I want us to really think through is I pray that we've not missed the opportunity to really be evangelistic. I hope people have seen how we Christians took care of each other and how we Christians were courageous in this world, not foolish. I'm not talking about being foolish. I am talking about being courageous. I want us to seize the opportunity. I hope we're doing that, but boy, this is a chance to step out and say, we know the answer, and to do that, we've got to create a climate of evangelism where our members want to talk to people. And frankly, we've got to get a good theology of death into our members. Now you're thinking, yeah, you're old, and yeah, maybe. But you know what? We've got to be courageous enough to say that for us, death is not the end, it's the beginning. So those are just things I'm thinking about. I may be right or I may be wrong about them, but I hope next time we'll really put some more thought into how to keep assembling together, put some more thought into how to really lead our people during spiritual crisis these things bring on, and how to bring more people into the kingdom. This is Steve Ridgell, hoping I'll be courageous the next time.